Hey, it's your girl, LaTonia Monroe Naylor, the Chief Business Educator. And I am here to talk to you about these 6 words. These 6 words that I'm going to talk to you about, it's a few of them that I want to bring to your attention because it's very important that when we are working in business, that we understand the consequences. We understand the reason, the context for why certain words are stated by folks that we interact with. So, with that being said, I just want to really quickly make sure that you are paying attention to the fact that you are talking to the author of Mission Rich and Profit Powered, a guide to transform your passion into a fully funded business, which is available on Amazon and on our website, missionrichandprofitpowered.com. And we will be having an audible version very soon. I'm so excited about it. And so, with that, we're going to jump right in. Today is Tea and Talk Tuesday with LaTonia. And yes, I do have my tea. You're amazing. Yes, you are. So, the first word, because we're talking about these 6 words, but you got to understand there's a few different phrases and why it's important for you to pay attention whenever these phrases are used or whenever you feel the need to have to use them. And so, the first one of these 6 words is, can I speak to your boss? Can I speak to your supervisor? Now, I'm about to tell you something that is going to transform your experience. If you have never used these 6 words, okay, y'all, I'm about to hit my consumers real quick. If you have not used these 6 words, then it's really important for you to know why these words change everything. So the other day, I was on a call and this lady was giving me the runaround. And when I say the runaround, it was like she literally was repeating the same exact sentence every time I asked her a question, as if there was no other response or solution other than what she was telling me. And I knew that was a bunch of baloney because I just know, right? I know business, I know how things move and operate. And I'm like, yeah, so you're playing. And you got paid for a service, you promised me something, and you're going to give me what you promised, or we're going to have a problem, right? And so I use those magical 6 words. Can I please speak to your supervisor? And all of a sudden, she was able to come up with the solution. She was able to transform the whole entire conversation and actually able to give me what it was that I was asking for. I was not asking for anything that was unreasonable. You say that you are giving somebody a referral fee. You should give them a referral fee. And it wasn't even my referral fee that I was looking for. It was for a client of theirs who referred me to their service. And as affiliate, they say that they're going to give a certain fee or discount on the bill to the client, and they didn't. And they were trying to give us this runaround about a code and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that's not what you said when I spoke to y'all. When I told you this person referred me to you, you didn't ask for a code, you didn't ask for anything, you found their information, you told me they were all set, and now you're telling me that you can't give it to them. Long story short, well, as soon as I used those magic words, all of a sudden they were able to do the credit. We got the person on the phone and they took care of it and they got their $300 credit. So the reason why this is important is for you to recognize that as a consumer, as a person who is looking to get that contract or that vendor that you're looking to bring on, you have the power. You're the one that's able to hold people accountable to the things that they say that they're going to do. So often, as consumers or as people that are looking to partner or as people that are looking to purchase a certain vendor or subcontractor, we act as if we have to be at the beck and call of the person that we are trying to support. Actually, that's what you're doing, because if you're paying a bill every month, you are supporting the mission and the ideology of that entity that you are spending your money on. So if I'm spending my money on you, I should be able to hold you accountable to the things that you said you were going to do for me, because that to me is a contract. It is. Most of the time when you're signing off on contracts to be able to get a subscription service or something, you have to sign contracts. So you're telling me you're going to do something in order for me to pay you, but then when it's time for you to meet your end of the bargain, now you want to flake. No, sorry. Let me give y'all this as a side note. I wasn't planning to mention this, but I'm going to mention this. That is why your Attorney General's office is important. That is why your Better Business Bureau is important. Because when you know the people that you need to talk to, if there's a problem with somebody that you are trying to work with who considers themselves a business or entity that you're spending your money on and they are not being held accountable, then you absolutely have some other entities you can go to hold them accountable. Okay. I had problems with purchasing things online. I had problems with um, and sometimes it wasn't even me purchasing. It could have been one of my kids purchasing something or whatever. I've had issues with people posting things on my credit that weren't even accurate. And you try to reason with them and you try to talk to them and they don't want to listen to you. Go to the people that hold them accountable. The credit bureau, the Better Business Bureau, the state attorney general's office, sometimes the secretary of state office, sometimes the IRS. You got to do your research to know what your rights are and how do you avenge your situation legally. Okay. There's legal ways to do that. And I just had to throw that in. That's another conversation for another day. If you want to know more, direct message me and tell me. I will be more than happy to do a whole video on that. Okay. So I said that. Let's get back to these 6 words. When you ask them, can I speak to your boss or supervisor? It immediately requires them to do a real quick introspection to see, did I do everything right? The customer is always right is what they're supposed to be told, even though a lot of times these days we encounter folks and we're like, do they get taught that anymore because they're so rude and hateful? But the reality is that most people when they start a business are not starting a business to fail, and they understand that customer service is a big part of it, and they hire people with the expectation that they're going to give them good customer service, and then when they do not do that, they're not okay with that. So by asking to speak to a manager or somebody who's a higher up, you put yourself in a really good position to be able to get what it is that you need. Now, I'm not telling you to bully people with this. What I'm saying is that there are often times where you are not getting what you deserve as a client, as a vendor, person who is seeking a vendor, as a person who is working with subcontractors. You got to hold people accountable. And that's why contracts are important. If you do not use them for your business, you need to start using them for your business. Stop bringing these janky people on that you work with and they want you to Zelle them and Cash App them, and you have no contract or agreement to hold them accountable for what it is that they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. Again, another topic for another day, but I'm more than happy to share. Can I speak to the owner? Now, this is a little different than can I speak to your boss or supervisor, because sometimes you speak to the boss or supervisor and they're as difficult to deal with as the person you initially spoke to. And that's when you can ask to speak to the owner, whether it be a franchise, whether it be a small business. I want to speak to your owner, because if you're dealing with an owner and the owner is okay, case in point, I used to go to this spa to get my feet done. In the summer, I'm really big on making sure that I have my feet done because I'm showing my feet, duh. But I'm learning now to care throughout the whole year. But anyways, back then I would go to the spa and it was really nice, and they changed ownership, and I didn't know they changed ownership, but I knew that when I went later on, like in the latter times that I went a couple of years ago, my experience was very different than what it was when I used to go. And so I'm like, I don't know. The staff are complaining. It's a very toxic environment. And I had a conversation with the owner, and he was really not very nice. I'm saying that because there's a lot of other words that I could describe him as, but I shall not do that today. Okay, so he was not a very nice person. And so what ended up happening is that I never went back after that, because I realized even if I try to reason with this person, they are creating such a toxic environment, and I don't know if they're miserable because there's something happening in their life. I don't know what the issue was. All I know is all the folks that were working there were not happy. The lady who I was going to, who was really good, was telling me how she had put her notice in and she had another job that she was getting ready to move into, completely different business, because that's how much toxicity she had experienced there. And I was just like, okay, I'm not coming back here no more. And I didn't. I went and I found another place, and now I'm really happy with the person who does my pedicures. But I said that to say, like, you want to know, is it the culture of the business because it's the owner? Is it the people? And if so, then we have a problem. Now, there have been times when I've worked with a owner and I've let them know, look, your folks charged me. They shouldn't have charged me. My time frame had expired and I was good. I didn't renew my membership. Like, I need to make sure that this is rectified. And I don't want to report this to the credit card company because I don't want it to look bad against your business. So, can you please fix this? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that you had that experience. No problem. They fix it. We still have a really good relationship. I'm inclined to work with them again. And I have done it many times where that relationship might have ended for that particular project. And then when I'm ready to do another similar project, I work with that person again because we have a really good working relationship. I didn't sever the ties because I didn't like what they did. I severed the ties because it wasn't serving the purpose of what I needed at that moment. Okay. So that's why asking to speak to the owner is really important because owners usually have a different perspective of what it is that they want to carry out. And especially when you have a small business, oftentimes things are misconstrued, miscommunicated because people have small businesses. They don't always have the ability to provide the professional development and support to folks so that they are able to operate at the level of excellence that they want them to. They're still learning how to delegate, they're still learning how to duplicate in some ways so that folks can see that they're experiencing the same thing regardless of what time they come in or who's cooking the meal. So you give people grace when you have small businesses. I don't give people as much grace when they're a big business as I do a small business because I understand the nuances that come with owning small businesses. And it's not that we don't care. It's just sometimes the capacity is not always there, but not that you won't receive quality service if you hang in there. Last but not least is, can I cancel my account, please? Can I cancel my account, please? Can I cancel my membership? You can replace account with membership. Um, Whenever you are having a bad experience or it's just not serving your purpose or you just are not sure of what it is that you committed to, asking that question, can I cancel my account, please, can be a big difference for you. Number one, it may bring to light that there's certain things that you are not experiencing that you should be experiencing as a client. It may bring to light to the owner, to the supervisor, to the business entrepreneur that they are thinking that they're providing services that they're not providing to folks. And so when you ask to cancel your account, oftentimes what you will see happen is you will get somebody to respond with a discounted rate, giving you a price that was maybe half even of what you were paying, additional value that they may offer to you because they realize that your experience wasn't great and they understand the value of you staying on as a member. They'd rather you stay on paying 50% of what you paid than for you to leave out altogether because number one, word of mouth is really, really important. So if I have a bad experience and then I go tell my cousin and my sister and my auntie and my friend and the person in the grocery store that I don't even know because that's how upset I am about it, now I'm going to cost that business a lot more money than just me leaving on good terms, which usually when somebody says, can I cancel my account, it's not on good terms. Most of the time, it rarely is it like, oh, I just want to cancel my account because I never use it and I realize I'm just paying for something I don't use. Most of the time, it's you're not happy with the service. That's why you're canceling it. Or you don't see a value to the service. That's why you're canceling it. So they'll do stuff to try to show you that there's more value to what they do if they care and if they're a good business. Now, if they don't care and if they're not a good business, they'll just let you go. Deuces, won't care, whatever. It's really important that you have those conversations. So I hope that on today, these 6 words that we talked about really helped you to think more strategically, not just about how you operate in business, but your day to day. One of the women that I look up to and admire very much in the public space often says, live your life like a business, right? And so I absolutely believe that 110%. And I want you to do the same. I want you to live your life like a business. I want you to be very intentional about not only being a very good entrepreneur, but also being a very good consumer because it's not good for you if you are not giving the same empathetic support to people who that you would like for people to give to you when they're encountering your space and in your business. But it's also really good to have that introspection to be able to say, hey, wow, if this is the experience that I had, that this horrible customer service is the reason why I never ever want to deal with this company again, or this horrible customer service is the reason why, I've been with a company for 20 years and I'm absolutely done and going to transfer to another entity, or I've had this bank forever and I'm sick of this bank now because they just disrespect me. You feel disrespected. They may not realize they're disrespecting you, right? So being able to have these hard conversations and ask them in a very nice six-letter word is just the way to go. I don't think it's really important for us to feel the need to want to yell at people or scream. I think number one is really not good. It's really telling of your brand if you are one of those people that got to tell people off to get your point across. But I also feel like there's no productivity, there's no good outcome that comes out of that. So by knowing these powerful words, knowing these six words that can transform the conversation, the way you're treated, the value that you receive, makes all the difference. And so, with that, we are going to end our Tea and Talk Tuesday today. I just want to remind you that if you're interested in joining the Mission Rich Academy, I often tell my folks, yes, you learn about business, but you learn about so much more because in order to be a good entrepreneur, in order to be a good business owner, a good nonprofit leader, a good faith leader, you have to be able to employ the things that you are expecting for people to employ as they encounter you and to support what you do. And a lot of times we have trouble reciprocating that for whatever reason. So make ourselves better to do better. We got to know better and we got to practice better, right? And so definitely hit me up if you're interested in learning more about the academy. And last but not least, I want to remind y'all that we have a special live on tomorrow, September 4th at 7 p.m. We will have none other than the standout truck king, Mike Connolly, joining us. He has a phenomenal program that he does, marketing cupcakes and so many other things with his standout trucks and everything. And so he will be with us to talk about Mission Rich and marketing tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us on Facebook. You can message us to get the link so you can jump right into the call and be able to ask questions. But either way, it's going to be an experience, and I am so looking forward to it. So, y'all have a good rest of your day. It's been a pleasure chatting with y'all this morning, and see ya.